Hello. Hello, who's joining me for this Saturday morning live? I'm really excited this morning. I woke up and I knew today was going to be a good day. And I'm so proud of Kerry. Our Kerry has been bold. Kerry has shouted out this morning on the group and said she's going to take action. Okay, and so that's just brilliant news, isn't it? I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased, and I just wanted to come on and support you as much as I can, Kerry. And anybody else, you don't have to feel like you have to shout out. Only do that if you're comfortable to do that, obviously. But you can play along yourself. I mean, I'm happy, like I say, my inbox is open throughout November. So if you wanted to get in touch, and hi there, Judy, how are you doing? If you want to get in touch and talk about your circumstances, get in my inbox, okay? But I want to shout out to Kerry, because Kerry's going to give me the opportunity to get a lot out here, right? So I want to use this opportunity and squeeze what I can out of it. So Kerry, thank you so much. I want to ask you, Kerry, now you don't have to answer. Hi there, Kerry, okay? Lovely to see you on here. I'm saying I want you to find out by thinking over the next few hours how this could impact your life if you do this, right? So not just about, right, well, if I get through tonight and I haven't had a drink, that's it. Go deeper with it, right? Oh, thank you, Kerry. That's been the aim all along. Yeah, but if I want you to kind of dig deeper, and anybody else who's considering this, you do this too, right? How will it impact your life, right? Think about your relationships. Think about work, your productivity. Think about passion. Now, Kerry, I know what you do, and I really want you to put on the end of the post what it is you do in case anybody else is interested in following you. And Kerry, your passion is there anyway, it's evident. But imagine with this extra energy, how much more you would feel confident yourself to show up and really inspire people as well. Your energy is going to improve, your focus and clarity, and not just from the lack of alcohol. The very fact that you're not drinking alcohol gives you the chance to get a more quality night's sleep. Yeah? So the fact that you're sleeping better helps with all of these things as well. It's like the alcohol is the first domino. Yeah? So visualize what impact it would have first on you and then on your clients. Right? So Kerry inspires women all day long to stand tall and to be themselves. Her logo is a flamingo, and I didn't know this until I met Kerry, but Kerry, you'd be better to describe, but what I took from it is when you're born, like a flamingo, you have grey feathers, am I right? And then as you grow, you become a flamingo pink and you show your feathers, and it's really visual how Kerry describes that. And oh, thanks, I'm post-bullion mentor. I love supporting others, exactly. And so by, how this is what I want, right? I want, my ideal client is a coach, an online coach who inspires other women, okay? And I just get goosebumps at the idea that by you doing this and by you feeling how I feel, you could too inspire so many people, so many women, and touch so many lives. This isn't about just losing a couple of pounds and, getting into a pair of jeans. It's much bigger than that. The impact you could have is huge. I mean, the ripple effect on my life alone, and I know there's lurkers in my group, and I'm going to get that because of the nature of the subject. But the very fact of you just saying to your client group, you've stopped drinking. I mean, look at all the coaches in the online space. Think of Brené Brown, what is Gabby Bernstein, who else? Tony Robbins, Russell Brunson. none of these people drink. None of them drink. It can't be a coincidence that all these successful people don't drink. Okay? And I know people can still have success and do this, but they could still have success and drink as well. But if you're inspiring other people online, the way I see it, right, I've signed up with a few different programs myself as a coach to grow myself. And the work that's demanded of you to put in order to achieve what we're all trying to achieve, it's a lot, right? So for me, the best thing is to be turning up with the energy that you've got, instead of, you know, I'm worried that my potential clients are sat at home. My potential clients are sat at home. They're coaches. They're not maybe achieving what these bigger coaches who are hitting the bigger numbers, and they're struggling and they're relying on wine, and you know their relationships are maybe in tatters because of the lockdown, and they're drinking to try and feel better, and that's maybe the only thing that they feel they've got left because of the fact that we're in lockdown. But it's just, you know, consider how many other things would improve if you weren't tired, exhausted, imposter syndrome. You know, it really is more than just what is in your glass. Yeah. I made some notes. I better check on them. Yeah, I'm just so passionate about it. And I think it's not about, please don't think I'm about banning alcohol or anything like that. You know, if people are drinking and they're enjoying a drink, that's absolutely fine. That's fine. But if I just want to raise awareness that if you're stuck like Susie in something in your life is troubling you and you're drinking, you can't see clearly. You can't see what it is that you need to tweak in order to change because you're clouded by the alcohol. And I'm aware of people who maybe have drank since March, every day since March, to get through this, right? And now they're thinking, right, I'm going to do a crash diet. Okay, a crash diet to punish myself because I've been drinking since March and I'm going to stop for a few days. They might maybe do a fasting diet or a juice diet. And then they've got headaches, they just feel irritated. They are sitting thinking that it's because they're missing their wine. What is actually happening is they're going through physical withdrawal, right? And what will happen at the end of the 3 days when they've had a sober weekend, they'll celebrate that with a glass of wine. The glass of wine will make them feel better because their little bodies have been craving that drink for those 3 days. So of course it's going to make you feel better. It's so bloody clever that it's the only thing that makes you feel better when you've had too much of it. You know, that hair of the dog thing, that. So people think, oh, I feel better after that glass of wine. No, you felt so shit before because you were craving that. You know, that's addiction. It is. That's what it is. And we're all scared to say that word. But if you're serious about this, and if you can visualize how you would impact other people, and you could be a soberholic, and you don't have to walk around and get a tattoo or anything and stop people in the street. It's just you saying, this is who I am, this is what I've done, and this is how it's positively impacted me in my life. And it might do the same for you. And, you know, then obviously that would just have such an impact, wouldn't it? For future generations, actually, let's be real here. I'm trying not to get so excited, but I just have this vision of all these online coaches promoting sober and all of these other online coaches, and we'll just have like a wave, a community of sober women who are changing lives. And that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me turning up for you guys. Really it is. Because I don't want anybody sat, stuck and feeling like, God, this is really hard. Claire makes it look so freaking easy and it's really hard. The only difference between me and you is what you believe alcohol does for you. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my God, if I was having a glass of wine now, I'd be having such a good time. I'm not thinking that. You are. Because what we're dealing with here is years and years and years of brainwashing. We've been brainwashed into thinking that we need it for everything. We need it to relax, to de-stress, to have fun, to be sexy, to be glamorous. It's not true. None of it is true. And the only way you find out that it's not true is by going, I'm really curious about this. You're pressing my buttons, right? I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. And, you know, whether you need the program, you might need my program, you might not need my program. I'm going to be showing up throughout November in this space. It's Alcohol Awareness Week next week or in a few days' time. And it's going to be my 2-year sober anniversary in November. So I'm going to be here every day shouting about this. This isn't really for me about the money. I've spent a fortune up to now. My husband's close to leaving us. You know, so I do want it to work, but it's really about the woman sitting at home who thinks that this is that it's hopeless for her. She wouldn't go to GP. She wouldn't go to AA. But she's thinking, shit, I need to get a hold of this and I don't know what to do. I am for her. I'm for her. And if you're not ready to be open about your situation because there's so much shame attached to it, that's fine. That's why my sober pen pal solution is there for you. Journal your thoughts, journal your cravings. Let me help you turn it around. I'm not a doctor. I've got a degree in adult education and I've offered support to people in other forms of life. I've done recruitment, I've done employment advice, I've done business advice. So, you know, whether you choose my program or you go and find someone else, that's entirely up to you. I just want more women to see that this is an option. It's an option to choose sober. It is an option. You don't have to be drinking. And even if you take nothing away from this, but if you overhear people saying, oh my God, I had so much to drink last night. I didn't do whatever that I promised I would do. Or, oh, I didn't get my social media stuff shared this week because I had a drink on Wednesday night and it knocked us off for the whole week. And so I haven't hit my target. If you're overhearing that and someone mentions alcohol, just signpost them over to my space and see if they, if they might just need to hear 1 or 2 posts from me, or they might really need my help. They might really need to get in my inbox. So that's what I'm asking you to do, to help me with my mission, to help me with this, because my friend died. My friend died and she was just like me. She loved a good laugh. She liked, she was glamorous. She loved her hair and makeup. And at the end, none of that mattered to her anymore. None of it. And I'm not suggesting that, Kerry, if you have a drink, that's going to be your future. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we're all on a train, right? And we're going in that direction. And I'm inviting you to get off the train earlier and then maybe inspire other people to get off the train. What's your alternative? Because I know for me, year on year, I drank more and more because my tolerance went up. And indirect reflection, as my tolerance went up, my level of normal went down. So I needed more of the stuff to get that buzz or that hit, and that was when I got on the cycle of drink, regret, repeat, drink, regret, repeat, because I started blowing my waist, just blow at my face. I was puffy, I was uncomfortable, and I got to the point where I had so many nudges from the universe, right? So many nudges that I couldn't figure out where the line was between my fun and my friend's problem. I couldn't see when does that flip? When does that flip? And that's what inspired me to start looking at this. And I really hope it inspires you too. Okay, you're at a crossroads now, and this is not pass or fail. Look back through my posts where I've got on my signature system: stuck, observe, bold, engage, rebalance. Today, Kerry's gone from observe to bold. Kerry, if you slip, or whatever you want to call it, blip, if you have a drink today, you're back to observe, but you're a step closer. It'll be easier to flip that switch again the next time. Do you see? It's not pass or fail. It's like learning to drive. You know, you're learning to drive. You might crunch the gears. You might stall, but you keep going. Or Slimming World. Slimming World has always been my inspiration. That is what I ultimately want this membership to be. I want to have a team of soberholics out there promoting sober life and getting paid from my program to do that. Okay, that's what my vision is. And then, you know, it's a case of it just growing like that, like Slimming World. That would be my business model. And if you go to Slimming World because you want to keep an eye on your weight and you have a bit of cake, it's not the end of the world. You get back on the plan and you go, right, where was I? Oh yes, I'm there now. Right, okay, I go on to the next stage. Or where did I go wrong? And it's like unpicking your beliefs. It's beautiful because it's self-awareness, and it's going to help you in so many areas of your life. Your relationships, finding out what it is that pisses you off. Because so many times, well, now I'll go, something about that isn't right and I don't like it, and I'm so confident in my feelings, I'm so confident in listening to my intuition. I don't go, oh, it's just because I'm in a bad mood, it's just because I was drinking last night, you know. And so life just gets easier and far more smoother. Let me check my notes again. Right, so this week I've signed up with a coach. Okay, she's got the same strategy as me, which is 1 to many. And that's why I chose her. I chose her because she's achieved what I am setting out to achieve with this business. I want to impact as many lives as I can with this. Whether or not people buy off me, I don't really care. I just want to impact as many people as I can to realise that if you have a problem with this, you don't have to go to AA. You don't have to go and speak to your GP. You're a grown woman and you can sort this out with the love and care of someone else who's done it. Okay? And I'm going to hold your hand and show you. For some reason, I really got behind this, and the passion for me explaining how the process worked came very early on for me. So I identified the stages that I went through, and that's what my 5 pals are. So I identified really quickly that I had been stuck like Susie. And then I became like Ollie and observing and thinking, like, okay, yeah, I'd like to walk up a mountain, but I'm not really that bothered about doing a muddy run. You know, so you look at sober life or other people, what other people do who are sober, and you just slowly get a picture of what it would look like for you. And then you go, right, okay, I'm ready, I'm going to do it. And you become bold like Bessie or like Kerry. And then you go, oh my God, this is really hard. Shit. And you go, all right, okay, no, I'm going to keep going. And you might stay at home for a while, which, Kerry, you've got the benefit of lockdown for that. So that's brilliant. And then the time will come when you need to step outside of your front door. It's more than a business, it's a passion. And oh, it is. Honestly, I'm just so pleased to have people to talk to about it. Yes, so then you're being bold and you're taking action, you're doing it, but then you need to step outside into the real world. You might even have to go around other people who are drinking at some stage, not today. And that's when you become like Elsie, because people are going to come at you and say, oh, you're boring, what you doing that for? And red wine's good for you. And so you need to be confident before you get to that stage, right? That's why it's taken a while for me to get reviews, because people aren't confident about that yet. But then when you're out and about and you're trying it like that, you start to see what you thought was fun, and you go, all right, okay, I can take the fun bits and I can leave all the nonsense side of the drinking. I can still have the fun, I can still have the connection, I can still catch up with my friends. I just don't need to poison myself while I'm doing it. So that's a right result. And then, you know, you slowly get different interests, different influences, different ideas of things that you might like to do, and you have the energy to see through with those things, and you start to see other people who are sober, and you slowly realize that actually you're not the only sober person in the world. You were just the only sober person in your world, right? But you're not going to have that because you've got me. So you're definitely not the only sober person in your world. I'm making it easier for you. This is what I felt was missing, this connection with women who are finding it hard. My clients, the majority of my clients are ladies who maybe their kids have left home and they're not grandparents yet, not yet, but I don't know, they've got like a sense of feeling a bit lonely, and maybe that was fixed with the connection in the wine bar with their girlfriends, and they're dressed up, and that helped make them feel young, and now they're standing in the kitchen with their scrubs on, having a glass of wine, and that it's not working, it's not the same, because it's the connection that you're missing. It's, you know, that don't just think that good times were all about the drink, you know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. And I've gone massively off on a tangent. Oh yes, back to the coach I've signed up with. So one to many, she's doing a one to many strategy, same as mine. Now, since signing up with her a few days ago, I feel like I've moved in with her. I feel like I can hear her voice in my head because I've been consuming the content. Okay. And this is something that Tony Robbins talks about. He says anyone can go out and buy a book, but there's only so many people, a very small percentage of people who actually read it. And then even less percentage of people than that who actually implement what the book's strategies are explaining and advising you to do, right? So it's all good and well signing up for these things. And I'm sure there's some dopamine that gets released in your brain when you do. And you almost think, oh, well, that's that sorted because I've bought that book, or that's that sorted because I've signed up to that thing. And you just kind of get on with your life. But you've got to actually do the work. So for anyone who is considering joining up to the program, it's not good joining up and thinking that it's going to happen magically. You've got to join up, and then you've got to consume the content. Do you know? You've got to show up and at the lives, and you've got to consume the content and work through the program, and then you might have to go back again and see what you've missed. And that's what I'm doing with this coach who I've signed up with. And that's why I feel like I've moved in with her. So that's how you should feel when if you sign up for my program. Like, you've got to consume the content. And really, the reason for that is she's done what I hope to do. So I plan to just do what she says. So, because she's going to tell me, I'm paying her for her to tell me how to do the thing. So it makes sense if I do what she says, right? So spend time with someone who's achieved what you need to achieve. Somebody with a plan. And somebody who you feel you connect with, right? So if you feel that, let me know. Yes, and then I was just a little bit about who my ideal client is, and I think I've covered all of that. Quit alcohol. No, I've covered everything that were in my notes. So what do you think then, Kerry? Are we going to do it? Are you going to get through strictly? Have you got any questions for us from all that passion? I hope that my Geordie accent doesn't put anyone off. I might have to consider some subtitles in case you don't understand what I'm saying. So Kerry, have you got any questions for us, my darling? Who else is watching? Karen, Catherine, hello. Any questions so far? Or you can just pop on the page if you have any questions. But please make sure, Kerry, that you share what you do as well, because you know, it's important that we support each other in that way as well. So I'm happy for you to do that on this post. And I hope to hear how you get on. I hope that was helpful. It certainly got it off my chest. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Oh, bless you. Right, okay, I'm going to shoot off now. Okay, speak soon. Bye for now.